Wake up, sleeping souls. Wake up, sleeping souls. How long will you sleep in the lap of the witch called Maya? You have forgotten the way of devotional service and are lost in the world of birth and death. I have descended just to save you. Other than myself, you have no friend in this world. I have brought the medicine that will wipe out the disease of illusion from which you are suffering. Take this Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, I fall at the Lord's feet having taken this Mahamantra. So this is the meaning of the bhajan. So we will sing this, Jiva Jago, Gaura Chand Bole, Kota Netra, Jao Maya, Pisachira Kote. Let me try. Jiva Jago, Gaura Chand Bole. You can repeat after. Jiva Jago, Gaura Chand Bole. Kota Nidra Jao Maya, Pisachir Kone. Kota Nidra Jao Maya, Pisachir Kone. Bhaji ko boliya aise samsara bhikare. Bhaji ko boliya aise samsara bhikare. Boliya rahile tumi avidyar bhare. Boliya rahile tumi avidyar bhare. Jiva Jago, Gaura Chand Bole. Jiva Jago, Gaura Chand Bole. Kota Nidra Jao Maya, Pisachir Kone. Kota Nidra Jao Maya, Pisachir Kone. Tomare lohito ami, hoinu avatara. Tomare lohite ami, hoinu avatara. Ami bina bandhu ar, ke ache tomar. Ami bina bandhu ar, ke ache tomar. Jiva Jago, Gaura Chand Bole. Jiva Jago, Gaura Chand Bole. Tene chi aushadhi maya, nashi baro lagi. Tene chi aushadhi maya, nashi baro lagi. Harinama Mahamantra, लाओ तुमी मागी हरि राम महामंत्र लाओ तुमी मागी जीव जागो गोरा चांद बोले जीव जागो गोरा चांद बोले भक्ति विनोद प्रभु चरणे पड़िया भक्ति विनोद प्रभु चरणे पड़िया से हरि नाम मंत्र लइलो मागिया से हरि नाम मंत्र लइलो मागिया जीव जागो गोरा चांद बोले जीव जागो गोरा चांद बोले कोटा निद्रा जाओ माया पिशाचीर कोने कोटा निद्रा जाओ माया पिशाचीर कोने हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे जय Radha Shyam Sundar, Radha Shyam Sundara. Jaya Gauramita, 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 Jaya Gauramita, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada, Jai Jai Gurudev, 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 Jai Jai Gurudev. Jai Vishnu Prabhu, Sacharya Stuti Shri Bhagavad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Shri Gopal Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Prabhu, Sacharya Stuti Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Gopal Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Ki Jai. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare. Thank you so much. Should I read it once again? So most of you were not there. So translation, beautiful translation. So Lord Gauranga is calling, wake up, sleeping souls, wake up, sleeping souls. How long will you sleep in the lap of the witch called Maya? We all are sleeping. So this is a call for all of us. Wake up. You have forgotten the way of devotional service and lost in the world of birth and death. I have descended just to save you. Other than myself, you have no friend in this world. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna himself, personally coming to help us, to get us delivered from this material world. And he is the best friend. Suhridam Sarvabhutanam. I have brought the medicine that will wipe out the disease of illusion from which you are suffering. So the root cause of suffering in this material world, what is that? Illusion. What is that illusion?
Maya.
No, that is the meaning of illusion. What is that Maya? What is that illusion we are suffering in this material world? Yes, in this material world. What is the root? Means what is that illusion?
The attachment to the material world.
Huh?
The attachment to the material world.
Attachment to the material world, attachment to the body, understanding that I am this body. My body is whole soul, and anything and everything in relation to this body is everything for me. That is my ultimate purpose, right? Just anyhow, just satisfying our needs, bodily needs. That is illusion, right? From which you are suffering. So the root cause of all suffering is this wrong conception, bodily conception of life. So what is the medicine for that? Take this Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This is medicine to remove or to cure the disease of illusion, disease of ignorance. This is the medicine. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, what is saying? I fall at the Lord's feet having taken this Mahamantra. So the purpose of chanting the holy name of the Lord is taking shelter of the Lord. And when we take shelter of the Lord, what is the purpose? Loving devotional service. And that will help us to come out of this illusion and will get us back home, back to Godhead, or a spiritual platform, transcendental platform, free from all anxiety, suffering, miseries. This is what transcendental platform. That is the objective, right? So we all are in this material world, and so here I was just taking some points from here, that why do we go to hospital? Why do we go to hospital? To get cured. Whatever disease we have, we go there so that we can get cured. When you go to hospital, when you meet with doctor, what is the objective? Okay, curing the disease is one thing. For that only we go. And before that, first of all, we should know that we are diseased. When we go to the hospital, first of all, our objective is to get diagnosed, right? We first of all try to understand which disease is there. What kind of disease do I have? What is the second need? After knowing the disease, now you got to know about your disease. What else you expect from your doctor? Huh? Prescription. What do you get in prescription? What are those medicines which you have to take? And along with medicine, what do you get? Some do's and don'ts. Some precautions. You have to do this, you don't have to do this. You have to eat this, you don't have to eat this. Some precautions, right? Prescriptions. And now you got the prescription also, medicine also. What is next? Keep the medicine away from you. Keep the medicine away from you. Don't follow the instruction. Will you be cured? So solution means once we get the medicine, once we get the prescription, do's and don'ts, so the next step is to follow the instruction and take the medicine. Right? And that is what in Bhagavad Gita Krishna is talking about. Do's and don'ts, how to perform your duties, how to do your activities. This is all about Bhagavad Gita, right? Especially about action. How to perform your action, your duties. What should be the consciousness behind that action? Right? Intention behind that action. That is what Krishna is teaching to Arjuna. So in our previous shlokas, we discussed about I'll take 2-3 minutes because understanding this concept is very much required. Of course, this is a philosophical study, and Srila Prabhupada used to say that philosophy without religion means without practice, without following. So without religion means that is mental speculation. So if we simply keep on hearing philosophy, but we do not practice it, so that is mental speculation. And religion without philosophy is sentiments. So if you don't know what we are doing, why we are doing, that is just sentiment. Sentimental, out of sentimental emotions, we are doing something, but we don't know the reason behind that. Like most of the time, most of the rituals people are following on this path of spirituality, but they don't know even what is spirituality. They don't know why they are following those rituals. What is the main purpose behind that? So these two, the combination of these two is required. Philosophical understanding and at the same time understanding is taking action on that. So this is what we have to understand. So in previous shlokas, it was mostly talking about Vedas, and we could know about it that Vedas means this Vedic scripture which is talking about so many rituals, so many practices, and also we learn that what is the use of these rituals? Can anybody? What is the use of all these following different rituals mentioned in Vedic scriptures?
Attached with
Let's make it more. Yeah, specifically, I'm talking about that is true. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. These are the 4 Purusharth. So Vedic scripture means this is the principle. I mean, Dharma, following some rules and regulations based on our whichever word and ashram we are. Like if we are businessmen, then we have some rules and regulations. If we are administrative class people, then we have some rules and regulations. Brahmanas, they have some rules and regulations. So following these principles, these rules and regulations, that is called dharma. And when we perform dharma, we get artha. Artha is facilities, money, resources. So dharma, then artha. And what is the use of those facilities? Ultimately, whatever facilities we have, our intelligence or different resources we have, because we receive by the mercy of God, and we should utilize it in such a way so that we can please God. That is the objective. But most of the time when we get artha, when we get facility, because of material conditioning, we try to enjoy that. We utilize that or engage that facility in our personal sense gratification. That is called bhoga, right? And once people are frustrated with those enjoyments, material enjoyments, and we know that material enjoyment, again and again we have been hearing this and we'll keep on hearing, just to clear this concept that these are the source of suffering somehow or other. This is the big, right? This is, we are. So once the people are frustrated, then they look for the next goal, that is moksha, liberation from all these sufferings. So dharma, artha, kam. Kam means that is enjoyment. And then once frustrated with those things, then looking for moksha, liberation. So ultimately we could understand that whatever is mentioned in Vedic scripture, ultimately it is for advancement, gradual development. Wherever we are, whatever stage we are, from there we have to advance to this final, means moksha. That is one object. But ultimately all these, even moksha, all these comes under material desires. And that's why what Krishna is suggesting to Arjuna in previous shloka, Traigunya Vishaya Veda, Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna, Nirdvando Nitya Sattvasto, Niryoga Kshema Atmavan. So this is very important shloka. Again I am taking that, repeating, but just quickly I'll cover it. So, because next topic is connected to this. So here, so whatever things are there in Vedas, that is what is mentioned, Vedas deal mainly with the subject of three modes of material nature. O Arjuna, become transcendental to these three modes. Be free from all dualities and from all anxieties for gain and safety, and be self-established in the self. So what Krishna is instructing Arjuna, that even if you are following Vedic scriptures, rituals, no, that is within material world, within material conception, because that is affected by the three modes of material nature. So he is saying just get free from even the three modes of material nature and free from all dualities. Dualities means profit, loss, victory, defeat. This is what duality. Happiness, distress, duality. Just be free from this. From all anxieties for gain and safety. Be established in the self. Be established in the self means know your true self. You are not this body, you are soul. And just do your duty. Right? Detached from the result of action. So today we are going to discuss on this part. And this is means the shloka we are going to take today. That is one of the most famous shloka. You all know about it. And Bhagavad Gita, especially when you talk outside, Bhagavad Gita is known for this. Karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phal heturvu ma te sangosva karmani. This is very famous shloka. Yes. So here, one point what Krishna in last shloka, he told that if somebody knows the purpose of Vedas, then automatically he is comparing, he is giving a beautiful analogy to understand. All purposes served by a small well can at once be served by a great reservoir of water. If you have a great reservoir of water, then you need not a well, right? Because that is very limited resource, but you have a big resource, then all the needs is fulfilled. So similarly, all the purposes of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. So if you know the purpose of Vedas, right? Sorry. What is the purpose of Veda? Ultimate purpose? Ultimate purpose of Veda? Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, Vedeshcha sarvair ahameva vedyo. The ultimate purpose of Veda is to know Krishna, is to know God, is to know about self, is to understand our relationship with Krishna, and finally reciprocating in that relationship. So this is the whole sole purpose of reading or understanding the scriptures. So now in this shloka, why I am speaking about it, because here in this shloka, Karmanyevadhikarasti, Krishna is giving one instruction to all of us, and this will help us to become free from all anxiety and stress while doing our activity. Or how we can be not only from stress and anxiety, that is a byproduct, but even freedom from all kinds of sinful reaction. Right? So what is the translation? You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the result of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty. So there are 4 points we will discuss on this. What is the first point? You have a right to perform your prescribed duty. Right? We have some prescribed duties. What are those prescribed duties? I spoke just before, as I said, there are Varna and Ashram, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. Or else we call it intellectual class, administrative class, business class and worker class. So different classes, they have different responsibilities based on their qualities, based on the qualification. So we all know, right? This classification is not based on birth. This classification in Bhagavad Gita is based on action, is based on qualification. So anybody in particular with particular qualification, known by his character or known by his qualification. So what he's saying, you have a right to perform your prescribed duty. We have some prescribed duty and we have right to perform that duty. Second point is, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Result or fruits, you are not entitled. You're doing action, but you're not entitled for the fruits. How do you feel like? Will you love to do any activity without fruits? If you know that, no, you're not going to get any fruit, or somebody is asking you, don't be attached with fruit, don't bother about fruits, just do. Will you get motivation to do that? Krishna is asking, you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the result of your activities. This is third point. This one shloka is very detailed, discussion is required. Never consider yourself the cause of the result of your activities. This is third very important point. We are not the cause of the result of our result. The result, whatever we are getting in life, we are not the cause of that. Then who is the cause?
The argument is Krishna is basically just to detach your ego from that part. So you not.
Very good, yes. Now all the devotees, they're really intelligent now. All the answers I'm getting from you. Yes, we are not the ultimate cause. We will understand it. We may be immediate cause, but not the ultimate cause. Right? And the last point, what he's saying, never be attached to not doing your duty. Because if somebody hears, okay, you're not entitled for the fruits of action. So somebody may say that, then why to work? If I am not the cause, or if even this kind of things may happen. Okay, if I have, like you said, destiny. If everything happening by chance, everything happening because of destiny, then why to work?
Then if God has given you some responsibility to come down, you have to discharge the responsibility.
Yeah, that's true. That's what Krishna is saying. Because with understanding this mindset, somebody may say that, okay, then why to work? Let everything happen. Let it happen. Let the destiny reveal itself. Why to work? But Krishna at the end is saying, never be attached to not doing your duty. You cannot say that I will not do, because even without doing you cannot survive. Sharir yatra pichate na prasiddhita karmana. If you don't do, even you will not be able to maintain your body, so you cannot escape. You have to do something or other thing. You have to do. Even not doing is also an action. If you don't do anything, that is also an action, right? So that will also bring some other kind of result. So first of all, the first point is, it should be very clear that we have right to perform our duty. We cannot ignore it. We cannot escape from it. In any situation, we have to do our duty. But we are not entitled to the fruits of our action. And second, never consider yourself the cause of the result of your activities. So we'll read the purport and then we'll discuss about it. So there are three considerations here: prescribed duties, capricious work, and inaction. Prescribed duties are activities enjoined in terms of one's acquired modes of material nature, as I explained you. So capricious work means actions without the sanction of authority, and inaction means not performing one's prescribed duties. So inaction, when it comes to inaction, two meanings are there. One is akarma. One is devotional service, which is not bringing any kind of reaction in your life, sinful reaction, or you are free from the karmic reaction, that is called akarma. But here the meaning of inaction is literal meaning, not doing any activity. So three kinds of activities: prescribed duties, explained you. Second is capricious work, means those kinds of work which is not mentioned in the scriptures. Mentioned means which is not as per scripture, but scriptures, they are giving us some duties, some instructions to follow that. So anything which is mentioned in scriptures as negation, that you don't do this. So those kind of activities, capricious activities or sinful activities. And the third one is, third category is inaction. So the Lord advised that Arjuna not be inactive, but that he perform his prescribed duty without being attached to the result. So this is what the instruction Krishna is giving to Arjuna. One who is attached to the result of his work is also the cause of the action. So when we are attached to the result, we are demanding for the result. So what is the point? Next point, we consider ourselves cause of the action. Because when we think, when we believe in it, that I am the doer, I am the cause of result of my action, when I am attached with the result, this kind of mentality will be there. Because I am working, so I am authorized to get the result. Right? So when we are attached with the result, then we consider ourselves cause of the action or the result. Such disinterested obligatory duties doubtlessly lead one to the path of liberation. So why he is suggesting, don't be attached with the result. Just do your duty because you have right to do your duty. So this kind of detachment from the result of your action will help you to liberate from all sufferings. Not only sufferings, we have been discussing that karmas, there are good karmas and bad karmas. You know the law of karma. Good karmas will bring good result in life. You will enjoy more. Bad karmas, that will bring sinful reactions in our life, suffering. So happiness and distress or misery in our life is just because of our good and bad karmas. Whatever is happening in our life, that is because of our karmas, right? So, but detached activity, when you are not attached with the result and you are doing your duty, you're doing your activity out of duty, then you get liberated from these reactions, either good or bad. You get free from reactions. So now, Arjuna was therefore advised by the Lord to fight as a matter of duty without attachment to the result. His non-participation in the battle is another side of attachment. Even if you're not doing your duty, that is another side of attachment. Now, why this point is there? Such attachment never leads one to the path of salvation. So either negative or positive. Attachment means attachment. So attachment will not help on this path of salvation. So any attachment, positive or negative, is cause for bondage. Inaction is sinful. This word is important. Inaction is sinful. Do you remember? Arjuna gave many reasons not to fight in this battlefield. What are those reasons? First one.
Attachment with the close ones, and what will I get even if I win?
Yes.
And
So let's take it in a sequence. We were talking about now in this second chapter, Krishna is giving answer, or he is refuting all the thoughts Arjuna had, or whatever questions, whatever reasons were there not to fight in this battlefield. Now Arjuna, he is giving reason, or he is justifying or refuting his thought process. So the first reason was out of compassion, and that compassion was on a bodily concept of life, that my relatives, my near and dear ones, they will be killed. That was a bodily conception of life. He was not aware of soul, that soul never dies. And because of this bodily conception of life, he was just out of compassion, he decided not to fight. Though compassion is a good quality, but we have discussed in detail that even this good quality, but if it is not understood properly, if it is misutilized, that is bad. Any example do you remember? How you can understand that this compassion is bad? Means compassion in this context, when Arjuna's compassion is bad. Yes. Yes. Huh? Yeah. I'm just asking questions so that we can revise those things. Why it is bad? Compassion is good quality?
because while discharging your duty,
Yes.
you are attached to something.
Yes. If it is creating hurdle in your duty, I give you example of doctor not doing surgery of his son, because being a doctor it is his duty, or a son who is diseased of typhoid asking for some oily stuff. Out of compassion somebody may give, okay, no please, because the son is crying, give him. But that is not the true compassion, because that oily stuff will kill the person, right? So Krishna, the first section of this chapter 2 Bhagavad Gita, the first knowledge what he gave, that is the knowledge about soul. So with the knowledge of soul, Krishna is making him understand that we are not this body, we are soul. Body is temporary, soul is eternal. So don't worry about that. And so many reasons. Maybe I'll send you one question, the whole the different logic, what Arjuna is asking and what Krishna is answering. I'll send you in WhatsApp group, right? The point is, he convinced Arjuna first on the basis of knowledge that we are not this body, we are soul. And that's why you need not to worry about it. Right? That was the first reason. Second reason, happiness. Happiness, second reason, he said, what? Even after winning the whole world, the three worlds, I will not be happy. And this happiness, again, it was on bodily conception of life. So what Krishna, he justified that being a Kshatriya, if you fight, if you lose the battle, you will achieve heavenly planets, because you are fighting for religion, for dharma. So even if you lose the battle, you will achieve heavenly kingdom. And if you win, then you are going to get earthly kingdom. You are going to become a king. You will enjoy. So don't think like, in both cases, either you win or lose, but you are performing your duty. So by performing your duty, you are going to enjoy in both situations. Getting this point? So the second section, which is Sakam Karma, we were talking about, and Krishna instructed him that in both of the cases you are going to enjoy. So he refuted the second opinion. And the third opinion, third was, why Arjuna rejected, not ready to fight? No, that is done. That was first one, compassion. Second is happiness. There will be no happiness if my relatives are not there. What is the use of such kingdom? Sinful reaction. If I kill them, it will bring sinful reaction in my life. Right? And now Krishna is saying, inaction is sinful. No? Not doing your duty will bring sinful reaction. If you do your duty, there is no sin. Getting this point? He's saying that if you do your duty, you will be free from sinful reaction. But what is duty? Yeah, of course we have to understand that. But this is the point I just wanted to bring here. That he's saying inaction is sinful. If you do not fight against irreligion, that will bring sinful reaction in your life because this is your duty. And also we studied about not only this sinful reaction, it will bring so many other things. Infamy. People will criticize you. People will think you out of fear left this battlefield. Right? So, and it is not good for a Kshatriya. So many things Krishna convinced with, and he just told him. Therefore, fighting as a matter of duty was the only auspicious path of salvation for Arjuna. So duty, the most important thing. So we can now see so this is what the teaching in Bhagavad Gita, action with detachment. What if we are attached with our action? And most of the time, whenever we are doing some duty in this material world, we are attached with the result. What is the consequence of that? If you are attached with your result, what is the consequence?
It's basically to detach your me from. Whenever you do something and you expect a result, the me factor goes that I have done that.
Sorry?
Just to detach that.
No, that we got. That attachment and detachment, these two things are there. One way of working is being attached with the result of your action, and another way of working is being detached with the result of your action. So when you are attached with your result, what is the drawback in that?
You actually get you have to actually, the results you have
Let's
to,
take one point from,
you have to take
then we will have better understanding. Yes, please.
the
What's your
results
name?
of the actions you have to bear.
What's your name? Anand. Yes. Ananta. Anand. Okay. Thank you so much. Please.
Attached, then you remain part of the humanity, right? Because that's a
Yes.
quite true possible what
Yes.
therefore happiness or distress.
Happiness and distress. Yes, very good. When you are attached with, you are bound to become stress. Means every time you will not get the result you are expecting. No? That expectation will not be fulfilled every time. What else?
The main factor what I said is attachment to the me factor. But the moment you say I have done this and you are expecting a result, if you get a result, then you will not be attached with your actual thing. You will not be attached with your actual thing. That factor will always remain in your mind that because of me, I have achieved this result.
Yes. I mean,
That is what.
Aham, man. Yeah, very good. This is another point. We have already, you means we will, what is the mentality behind this? I am the doer. I am the doer. And when you think that you are the doer, who is going to get the responsibility of your work? Huh? So, when we say that I am the doer, it means I am going to suffer or enjoy the result of my action. No one else. This is very important to understand.
Emotional pressure if you are doing it.
Huh?
And there's a lot of emotional pressure when you are the doer. When you think that God is taking care of everything, then after the pressure हट जाता है. There's somebody else who is,
Yes.
that is a lot of.
is this just a mental kind of?
No, otherwise also, if you think that you are the doer, you will never get be attached with the God. You will always think that it's because of you is what is happening.
Yes.
That feeling to the attachment to the God will never come to you from the heart.
Prabhuji, I think if you continue to get attached, you will have to suffer the consequences of those actions also all the time, good or bad.
Yes.
Then you will never come out of that cycle. You will always be like, I am the doer, so I will suffer. If I am the doer, I am maybe enjoying.
Yes.
That you will have to take the birth again and again and again, just to take, always pay off the debt or to receive the credit.
Yes. Yeah. So this one concept is clear. Yes.
But is it actually true? Because you may have done it not in what this life or in the last life. So that, you are actually the doer
Yes.
and it's happening because of you. So you must have done something in your past life.
Yes.
because of this action today.
Yes. That's true. Sandeep Prabhu, yes. One concept is very much clear that if I am the doer, so I am responsible for the action of the result of my action, right? Number one. Whatever good and bad karmas I am doing, I am responsible for that. So I am bound to suffer or enjoy the result. That is very much clear, right? And also we are trying to understand that when we are attached with the result, then again so many other kinds of sufferings are there. Apart from this is what the result of that attachment, that we will keep on suffering, enjoying, and because of that suffering and enjoying in this material world, we are going to be here, remain here only. That is not our objective. This is also very much clear. When you are detached with your work, means you don't bother about your result, and you are just doing your duty.
Best of your ability.
That is,
You do the best of your ability in that way. Because you're not fear.
Then what is the motivation factor?
There's one more thing actually. When you are detached, then you will more probably do the right thing, because then you are not thinking इसमें मेरा फायदा है और I must do it this way. This is good for me. I will profit by this. So you generally can take the right decision. Right karma happens when you are detached.
Then you will follow dharma actually. Because then you will not be swayed that I am the.
You will actually
do the right thing actually. What is that?
Yes.
No, but I still want to understand because what you said that I think that then what's the motivation? Because in the back of your mind you always have this thing that if I do this, this will happen. If I
Yes.
give medicine to my child will be fine and then it will make me happy.
Yes.
So I'm saying that it's very difficult to actually detach yourself from the results.
Exactly.
You just say that you've done your part and everything.
I think
and
the
you get
motivation
it.
part
Let her complete, please.
So,
Yes.
I think I'm clear how
Let's understand one more point. I got what you are asking for. First of all, this I am doer concept. Let us understand this one. Then this will make the whole picture clear. Why we need to detach? Why we need to detach from the result? First of all, we are not the whole soul, or we are not the ultimate doer, ultimate cause for our result of our action. First of all, we have to understand this. Because this is the biggest misconception that I am the doer. At material consciousness, at bodily platform, we think like this, and that's why we are bound to suffer our results, or enjoy or suffer whatever is there. As per Bhagavad Gita, we are not the only cause. Whenever any action is happening, there are 5 factors. There are other factors also, which is you can say, which is the decision maker, or which is deciding the result in our life. So this is in Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter, verse number 14. I'll read that.
If it was so simple तो वो ये जैसा होता experiment जैसा cause and effect.
Let me just read that. It will help you to understand, because this one concept, the point is, okay, this is 18.14. Now here, what are those 5 factors? Very important, huh? The place of action means this body. The performer, soul. The various senses, or these various senses are there, hands, legs, eyes, nose, various senses, even mind is sense. the many different kinds of endeavor. Endeavor means our will, our desire, effort, right? So in simple terms, when you want to do some, maybe you want to start a factory, you need a place where you can start your work, and you need some machine also, right? Instruments to execute that. And for example, you have land, you have machinery. Now you need willpower, a doer, one who is going to do the activity. You need, right? The person who is going to do the activity. Now person is there, machinery is there, land is there, place is there. But the person is not having any will, any desire to do that. Will the action happen? So we need will also. So that is called endeavor, means effort, some desire to do something. And ultimately, this fifth factor people do not consider about. You know what is the fifth factor? Super soul.
His will.
Super soul means God, Krishna. Krishna is the fifth factor. Even if you have land, and a very simple example to understand. For example, I told you, if you want to start a factory, you got the place, you got machineries, and you are ready to do, you have great desire to do, willpower, you are ready to put your effort, and government doesn't allow you. Government does not sanction. Will you be able to do? So final sanction is required from government. So similarly, from Bhagavad Gita we are learning that whatever action we take, not only our effort, not only the resources, but there is another one factor which is called super soul, God. That is one factor. What Prabhupada is writing, anyway, it will take time, but
The last one is the most important.
most important, because this is the role of Paramatma, Upadrishta Anumanta Cha. He is the observer, overseer. Whatever we are thinking, feeling, willing, doing, everything is being observed by Super Soul within our heart. So not only soul is there within our heart, but along with that, Super Soul is there. And in Kathopanishad, there is a beautiful analogy to understand it. There is a tree, there are two birds sitting on that tree, and one bird is eating the fruit, and the second bird is simply observing the first bird, just seeing what the first bird is doing. So Super Soul is that second bird which is observing us. Whatever thinking, feeling, willing we have, that is being observed by Super Soul. Right? And he is not only observing, Upadrishta Anumanta, means sanctioning authority. We may desire, but that desire is going to be fulfilled. It's not in our hand. Sanction. God will sanction. Now, on what basis God will sanction? One word we were using again and again, I got from you also, destiny. What is destiny? What is destiny? Huh? Yes. I mean, this is also one important factor, because sometimes you will see somebody is putting less effort and getting big result. You see somebody with minimum effort becoming rich overnight. And many people, they're struggling hard, doing so many things, but again and again they're getting failure. Why? What is that factor which is working? Huh? Sometimes when people succeed overnight, we say, oh, destiny, bhagya. So we have to understand what is destiny. Destiny is, again, it's not by chance. Destiny is that your previous karmas, your activity, your action which you have done in your previous lives. So that is the sum total of all your activities, that is called destiny. Right?
Prabhuji, it's a combination of your actions plus the others' actions also. It's how these things come together. That is how today's destiny is different. For example, this Dhritarashtra having 100 sons,
Yes.
right, and losing them, right? That is destiny. It took him 50 births to come out and have
Yes.
that. So during that period, And he at that time saying, the curse was that you will see your 100 sons. So he prayed and said, no. Then he said, okay, I am taking away. The bird said, you will not see them. So his eyes are gone. So the action of the other being also is very important in your destiny at that time. It's a cause and effect.
Yeah, cause and effect is there. Others' action.
They also impinge on what you do. And that again could be because of some other actions you have taken earlier, right? It's always, Mahabharata is actually all layers, right? If you actually study Mahabharata there are many generations of your being there, right?
Yeah, that means one point is very much clear, concept must be clear, that whatever action in whatever lifetime happened, we are going to get reaction for that, right? So this is what we are trying to understand, that not only our action, action takes place because of these 5 factors. So one factor that God or Super Soul, we should never forget it. That one factor is there, and because He is the observer, He is the sanctioning authority, and He not only in this lifetime, He is observing us from time immemorial, from many lifetimes, and He knows our record. So whatever is happening in our life, right, that is because of those previous actions and the action being done right now. So we get a result, either good or bad, whatever we are getting, that is because of that. So one concept, this must be clear. Now, destiny, whatever is coming because of previous. Can we change the destiny?
Yes.
How can we change it?
By mantra, by basically chanting,
Simple process.
connecting to God,
Simple process
connecting
is,
to
see,
the super soul.
whatever is done, of course, I'm not talking at that level, because of course when you start taking shelter of Krishna, you can burn all sinful reactions, all reactions, either previous or present or whatever future. Well, that is another point, but here what we are trying to understand, because of our action, whatever destiny, whatever things are there, something is. Now, how we have to respond it? There are two, when something is happening in our life, there are 2 ways to face that reaction. One is reacting, or second is responding. So when you react for something happening in your life, maybe some bad situation, some sin, or something wrong, some wrong event happened in your life. So one way is reacting. Again, some action is a reaction on that. So when you react that situation, again you are getting another, it's just raising another karma. But when you respond to the situation, so we are learning how to respond here. We have to learn how to respond here. Why? Because we have to close the account of this karmic reaction. Whatever is done, that is anyway going to come.
How do we differentiate between them? How do we know that whether we have to respond or we are creating?
Seeing the symptoms, like means whatever, first that's what we are clearing the concept, that whatever is happening in our life, one thing is very much clear, that it is just because of some action, some previous action. I am responsible for that. Now when I know this fact, I will not blame others. I will not criticize others. I will accept it, and accepting means this is what responding. So once the reaction of action is done, means that account is closed. When you respond, our objective is to close the previous account, present account, and future account.
So if somebody is, let's say, hitting you, right, or beating you,
Yes.
you don't hit back.
Again, here, this is, I got the point. This is what practical.
No, if he is hitting you and affecting, and you have to react to the situation within the
Moment you react, you are creating
Coming to the point. I mean, this is one practical application, different situations. We can discuss in different situations, like how to handle, how to tolerate, how to respond It doesn't mean, again and again I say that when you are developing these devotional qualities, somebody, no, it's not that you are going to be exploited.
Yes.
Somebody is taking advantage out of it. You have to, because when you raise your intellect, when you are spiritually advanced, you will understand how to respond to situation. Now here the point what we are trying to understand is, we don't have to react, we have to learn how to respond. Mean understanding that this is some reaction because of my action in previous life. That is one understanding. Second is, now I will not do any such activity which will again create any kind of reaction in future. Right? So how to do that? Now Krishna in second shloka, what he is saying after that, Yogastha kuru karmani sangatyaktva dhananjaya siddha siddhyo samobhatva samatvam yoga uchyate. What is the solution? Perform your duty equipoised, O Arjuna, abandoning all attachment to success or failure. Such equanimity is called yoga. Yoga, we know the meaning of yoga. Krishna tells Arjuna that he should act in yoga. How we have to act? Act in yoga. And what is that yoga? Yoga means to concentrate the mind upon the Supreme by controlling the ever disturbing senses. I'll simplify it. This is again there. And who is the Supreme? The Supreme is the Lord. And because he himself is telling Arjuna to fight, Arjuna has nothing to do with the result of the fight. Arjuna is not doing for the self, for his personal sense enjoyment, for his personal motive. He has to simply follow the instruction of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So who is going to be the responsible for the result? Krishna. Srila Prabhupada gives very simple example to understand. For example, you have a stick. You have a stick, and with using that stick, if you kill a snake, who is killing the snake? These 2 points we will understand. Doer and who is responsible. Who is killing the snake?
It depends about why you are killing this.
No, let's not get into it. Just this one concept. Yes?
I will be responsible.
No, if you have a stick, if you see the direct or the immediate cause, that stick is killing the snake. No, immediate cause. Immediate cause. I am the ultimate cause. No, this see, whenever we discuss any example, just try to understand why we are discussing this. When you have a stick in hand and using that stick you are killing a snake. So if you see the immediate, that snake was killed by a stick. That stick is killing. But ultimately that stick is being used by me or following my instruction. So I am responsible for that.
So what you want to say is the stick is a person and the doer is the...
That is what we are learning here. So when you become an instrument in the hands of God, then you are free from your action and reaction. Then God is responsible for that. That is what Prabhupada is mentioning over here. Huh? Because he himself is telling Arjuna to fight, Arjuna has nothing to do with the results of the fight. Because this is the instruction of Krishna. Gain or victory are Krishna's concern. You will win, you will lose, that is not your part. Simply follow the order. Huh? Arjuna is simply advised to act according to the dictation of Krishna. The following of Krishna's dictation is real yoga, and this is practiced in the process called Krishna consciousness. What we are learning in Krishna consciousness? This is what we are learning. Simply following the instruction of Krishna, and we are liberated from all action, reaction. Even Krishna, what he is saying in 18th chapter, Sarva Dharman Pratitya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshaishyami Mashucha. Simply, if we take shelter of Krishna, follow his instruction, he is taking responsibility to deliver us from all sinful reactions we have done in previous lives, knowingly, unknowingly. He will release us from all those sinful reactions. So, Krishna is taking. By Krishna consciousness only can one give up the sense proprietorship. Right? We consider ourselves doer, master. But when we take shelter of Krishna, only by taking shelter of Krishna, we can be free from this doing mentality, doer mentality. And when we are not having this mentality, doer mentality, we are automatically detached from the result. I am not the doer. I am simply an instrument in the hands of God. The way He wants to use me, He is using me. I am happy in all situations. This is what the consciousness. One has to become the servant of Krishna or the servant of Krishna. This is the philosophy. This is very deep. This is the science behind everything. Right? Simply accepting Krishna as the master. That is the right way to discharge duty in Krishna consciousness, which alone can help one to act in yoga. We have to do our duties like this. Accepting Krishna as master, whatever guidance, instruction we are getting from Krishna, following those instructions out of love, with no expectation of result. Because this expectation of result, if we are trying to become master, enjoyer, doer, and with expectation of result we are doing, then we are bound to suffer. We are bound to struggle, anxiety, stress, everything will be there. I'll make it clear how. Like we were talking again and again, where is the motivation? This is higher motivation. This is not temporary motivation. This is higher motivation. Right? So, Arjuna is a Kshatriya, and as such he is participating in the Varnashram Dharma institution. It is said in the Vishnu Puran that the Varnashram Dharma, the whole aim is to satisfy Vishnu. This is also further explanation that whatever we are doing, whatever Varnashram we are, Varnashram Vibhagasha, whichever Varna and Ashram we are, Sam Siddhir Haritoshanam. As per scripture, the ultimate purpose of following all these rules and regulations, doing your duty, is to please Krishna. No one should satisfy himself as is the rule in the material world, but one should satisfy Krishna. So unless one satisfies Krishna, one cannot correctly observe the principle of Varnashram Dharma. Indirectly, Arjuna was advised to act as Krishna told him. So this is further explanation, but the main point we are trying to understand is when we follow the instruction of Krishna, then we are free from reactions of the action. We are not attached with the result, and we are working for higher purpose. That higher purpose is pleasing Krishna. Maybe at this point of time we don't want to please Krishna, and no, we will not get much motivated for our action, right? Because as of now we don't have that much attachment for Krishna, that desire for Krishna.
Guruji, help me understand
Yes.
this. We want to surrender to the super soul because we want some benefit. Maybe all our destiny or our past karma, etc. will get cleansed. But yet it says here, don't be entitled to the fruits of action. So isn't there some kind of or am I understanding it wrong?
What is that?
Isn't there a conflict? Like for example, you're saying that don't be entitled to the fruits of action.
Yes.
But it seems to me that I am entitled myself by saying, just forget everything and just surrender to the super soul, and everything will be taken care of. Or am I understanding it wrong?
Got it. Got your point. See, taken care of is, as we said that, Krishna is saying that you cannot be in active mode. You have to act anyway. You cannot escape from action. So when you are acting, it should be very much clear that I am not the final authority. I am not the master, controller of my destiny. I can take action, that is my right. But final destiny is in Krishna's hand. That is one understanding which will help us to get detached from the result. Now the motivation factor we are talking about, of course, because now the motivation factor is very high. I'll give you one small example to understand it. Why Krishna is asking this and what kind of benefit we are going to get out of it if we accept this process of action. What is the benefit out of it? You know all, like first is we will not be worried or stressed when something wrong goes or something, if our desire is not being fulfilled, we will not be depressed, right? One point is why Krishna is asking this. Let's understand. Krishna is not looking for our action. Krishna is not concerned about the result of the action. He is concerned about our consciousness. What happens when we take action? Either we win or we lose. But if we get a process wherein I am always winning, is it a good process? Either good or bad from external point of view. But if I am winning internally, so what Krishna wants from us? He is willing, he wants consciousness. He wants purity of heart, right mindset. And that's why what he's saying, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayakshati. He's not demanding big things. Bhaktya Prayakshati. Anybody who offers these things with love. Right? So he is not demanding for action, he is not demanding for result. When we follow this process, it means we have to love the process. We have to love the process. Don't be attached with the result, but just do your duty, follow the process, love the process, right? If you win, credit goes to Krishna. You are happy. If you lose, then at that time Krishna will see your consciousness, not the result. He will see how you are taking that failure in your life. Are you depressed? Are you blaming Krishna? Are you again taking that failure as mercy of Krishna? And Krishna will see that consciousness, right? And that is our real achievement. From a real point of view, again, that is even good. It will help us. It will help us from a real point of view also. But our objective is spiritual. And Krishna is seeing this only. That in all situations, in all circumstances, we remember Krishna. We worship Krishna. We love Krishna. This is our real achievement. This topic is something.
We can say that the moment we surrender to Krishna,
Yes.
and we do any work with the motivation, the motivation factor should be that we have to please Krishna.
That is the point. That is the point.
moment we do that, our motivation is there
Yes.
to please Krishna, and our
I mean, this
we are
is
not bothered about
this is the crux of this whole class. This is the crux of understanding this shloka. We have to raise our consciousness, our purpose, right? And from the very beginning, so many classes we discuss. If we try to please self, if we are working for the sense gratification, that is the cause of suffering. When we work for Krishna, that is liberating. That is helping us to get out of this material suffering, material bondage. That is the goal, ultimate goal of this human form of life. And at the same time, this process or this way of action, even at material platform also, you see, this is getting you out from all anxiety and stress. And even if you see the success formula from the materialistic point of view, different theories I heard, I think Earl Nightingale, I don't remember this exact statement, but what is that statement? What is success? Success is not that result. Success, real success is not that result which you achieve, but the process. No, enjoying the process and something. What he's mentioning, because different people have different goals. Somebody is looking for money, somebody is looking for position, somebody is looking for relation. Different goals are there. So he's giving one simple statement that loving process, and what kind of process? Which is for a worthy goal. This is very important word. Worthy goal. A goal which is very prominent, which is very important, which is worth. It's not like you have some negative goal which is again degrading you into some sinful reactions, sinful actions. That is not the goal. So he's giving clear instruction. Goal should be very much clear. It should be higher goal. And here we are talking about the topmost goal, pleasing Krishna. So if we develop this consciousness, if we try to please Krishna with our action, right? So that action will release us from all sufferings, right? And then we will never be frustrated with the result. dualities of this material world. We will enjoy the process. We will be happy always. Right? So we will, I think lots of discussion is there, but time is getting over. Yes, one last question, please.
If Krishna is residing inside us as the super soul
Yes.
or the other world, then the external symbol of Krishna with that group and we are offering so,
Yes.
isn't that distracting while you actually surrender yourself or you watch yourself inside? Isn't that more powerful and isn't that a better process rather than
Okay, this is another question we will discuss in person maybe, because many times we have you joining for the first time. So, Krishna within and without, right? Krishna is everywhere. Krishna is everywhere, in different forms, in different, right? His energy is working. So we will discuss about it. But the point here is taking shelter of the Supreme, working under His guidance for His pleasure. And again, just to conclude, because whenever we speak on this again and again, talking about the pleasure of Krishna, so we have to understand by default we are talking about our pleasure. When Krishna is pleased, our enjoyment, our pleasure is always there. So that is very clear, and that is true bliss, true enjoyment in association with Krishna. That will liberate us from bondage. But if we try to enjoy separate from Krishna, that enjoyment will again bound us in this material world. So these things we keep on repeating so that we can just reinforce in our consciousness, subconscious mind, that how we have to act. Okay? So thank you so much. Of course, so much discussion can be done on this. So whatever we have discussed, few points, just to summarize. One is the difference between spirituality and matter we should know. We should know that we are not the doer. There are 5 factors we discussed about. We should know about it. And the ultimate decision factor is Krishna Himself as Super Soul within our heart. And we must be, so we should act to please Krishna. And this way we can remain detached from the result, free from anxiety and stress. Thank you so much. Any learning you can also share in group, whatever you learned today. How you are going to implement in your life this process. Okay. Time, something we have to, of course. Now we are, again and again we are talking, taking shelter of Krishna. Every class you will hear about, this is the beginning of the result of our devotional service. Means once we take shelter of Krishna, therefrom things start. Right? Or as I should say, like our whatever we discussed as of now, to really to practice this in our life, we need mercy. Right? So we can start with chanting the holy name only. So when we chant the holy name, then Krishna will reveal everything. Krishna will help us to act in this consciousness. So anybody new, please somebody can teach how to chant, or I think many of the devotees new first time. You also first time? Thank you so much. So quickly, another 7 minutes. So this chanting bead, you can hold the bead after this thread one, the first one like this, or whichever way you are comfortable. Don't use index finger, that's the only criteria. The way you are comfortable, you can do that. Like this also, because beads are smaller, so sometimes holding like this becomes difficult, so you can hold like this. And here we will start the first mantra, that is, you can repeat after me. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta. So holding this bead only, we start chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and the process is very simple. On every bead we have to chant this Mahamantra, and it should be softly, and we can hear, at least you can hear. It should not be within mind. Chant so that you can hear the transcendental sound vibration. So this chanting and hearing is the process. Don't at all worry about, do not try to control your mind. Yes, just go on chanting and hearing. So we will start this 108 times we will do. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Just one announcement.
Yes, ma'am. Any announcement?
One child is not keeping well, so we just want to pray for him.
What's this?
Naman
So, let's make a special prayer for Naman. He is struggling, he is not well. So, we can make a special prayer to Lord so that he can get well soon. So, by loudly chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra 3 times, we can pray for Naman. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So this chanting is simply a call to Krishna. So by chanting the Mahamantra, we can connect ourselves with Krishna. Also from the topic we were discussing today, you can take one takeaway, especially working professionals, though we all are working. Because in my professional life, once I was in Mayapur and there was a big picture of Krishna and there was a big slogan, and that slogan just transformed the way of working, and it was meet your new boss. What is that? Meet your new boss. So he is the original boss, now working for Krishna, and the way Krishna wants to work, let's work with that consciousness. So this consciousness will free us from all anxiety and stress, and at the same time help us to go home back to Godhead. That is the whole objective of spiritual life, or this healing form of life. So thank you so much. I could see so many new people joined, so my humble request to all of you, maybe this was your first class, so many things, philosophical aspect, you understood, could not understood, no worry at all, just continue this journey, right? And so much there to get received, right? Thank you so much for your participation. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantha Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Hare Krishna. So now you can honor prasadam. Yeah, please. In the morning, I was just talking about. Now you can start prasadam. I'll keep on speaking. Just I'll give you one clue. Because the bhajan which I started, we were talking about curing some disease, curing the disease of this illusion. And you know what is the medicine for that? This chanting is one medicine. Chanting the holy name of the Lord every day, we have to chant it. Apart from that, there are two more things. Second also you are doing, third also you are doing, but doing it on a regular basis. Second is hearing about Krishna. So like Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, when we hear about Krishna, this is the second medicine. Every day we have to take chanting, hearing about Krishna, and the third, very very important, Krishna Prasad. Honoring Prasadam, taking Prasadam. This is very very powerful. It will purify the whole consciousness. So whenever you are taking, this is not ordinary food which you are taking. This is first offered to Krishna. And when you have that mood, that I am taking mercy. Prasad means mercy. So we are receiving mercy of Krishna. So with this consciousness, please honor Prasad. I am speaking this because sometimes people think like, no, I'll not take food, let me go. Don't feel like that. This is again a part of this class only. Accepting Krishna by honoring Prasadam. Go ahead, please. Let's go for Krishna Prasadam. Hare Krishna. Thank you.